Everybody, hope y'all doing well today. This is my review of Season 1, Episode 5 of the Daryl Dixon Show. The title of the episode is Deux Amours. And another pretty solid episode. I really don't know what the early critics, the people that already got to see the entire series, I don't know what they were poo-pooing it about so much. I mean, maybe they're just not Walking Dead fans in general, so I don't know. I don't know what people want. It's a zombie show. But it begins with Daryl and Leon and the boat captain going up the river, and then you get a flashback to what Daryl was doing right before he ended up on the boat. And he was pretty much out of fuel, and then this guy in the truck says, ask him what he's doing, and says he can help him get some fuel. Well, Daryl ends up at this place where they are collecting walkers, and they're collecting walkers for this French scientist, and pretty much, that's how Daryl made it over there. The end. See y'all next week. Now, yeah, they show that at first, and then of course that's in their cold open. Then we have the intro, and I usually watch these on AMC Plus, so I don't have to worry about the advertisements, but it's hard to fast forward that and actually make it work to your advantage. But yeah, then Daryl finds out that the way to get anything there is to bring them lots of walkers. Well, he shows up everyone there by bringing in like 6 or 8 walkers when everyone else is bringing in 1 or 2. But of course, it's Daryl, and they've had to mess with shit like that before. So, and these aren't the crazy, super French walkers. There's also a young man there that keeps trying to get help, keeps trying to get, everyone to let him go with them so he can get some money to go back home to get his girl and get the hell out of there. But yeah, Daryl isn't really paying much attention to him, and no one else is either. But yeah, Daryl's just kind of, it's not exactly like the claimed group, but it's kind of like that. But and then they flash forward to Daryl, Leon, and the boat captain. They stop and end up at a little piece of a house to stay for the night. Then they flash toward Isabel and that guy. And I don't know, that part kind of drug on, kind of bored me. She's not happy, but of course, why would you think someone that ran away from you is happy, especially when you find out they were cheating on you with your sister, More flashbacks. This episode's really good for backfilling why Daryl got here. The Isabel stuff, not as good. Not terrible, just did not compel me. But then you have Daryl actually getting a hold of Carol on the radio, and you hear that somebody's back, but you don't hear who, and it could be Rick, could be Michonne, could be Morgan, could be Eminem, guess who's back. But yeah, everything's, well, let's see. Yes, the boat captain accidentally gets killed trying to stop some walkers because he's watching, being the night watchman for everybody. but he makes a decent little joke. And then Daryl finds out that Leon has cut this rope for the boat, and the boat has floated away, which is pretty stupid. I mean, idealistic children are pretty stupid. They're pretty stupid now, and they'd be really stupid in the apocalypse. Not that that's not good to be idealistic to a certain extent, but to do it in the face of your own death is stupid. And Daryl, gives him a really hard time. Then he realizes that it was a little too much for the kid. You go back to Isabel, and then back to Daryl. And then they show why Daryl was on the boat. Because the guys that weren't as good at getting the walkers actually killed the kid that he was kept trying to get help, and used him as one of their bounty. So he punched the guy, and they decided that they would put him on the boat too. Then Daryl and the boy get caught by the bad guys, and Daryl actually tells the boy early on to run away, but Leon comes back and saves Daryl from being blinded. Yeah, then you have Isabel and the douchebag. And everybody kind of ends up together at the place with the main bad guy. She talks to Leon and Isabel, and then you get to see how Daryl escaped the boat, which is a fun set piece. Yeah. Almost done. Too many damn commercials. I mean, this on AMC Plus is like 50-some minutes, and this on TV is like an hour and a half almost. Yeah, Daryl and the one guy work out a way to break out, and they do. But then at the very end, you have Daryl in this pit with this walker, and they shoot the walker up on something, and it goes through its bloodstream and does all kinds of wild shit, and who knows what will happen when Daryl fights it. They do give him an axe, so will probably be an interesting season finale, but he has to live in some way, shape, or form, because they've already told us that there's a Daryl Dixon show season 2, so kind of takes a little bit of the excitement out of it. Maybe he loses a hand, maybe the one that got the acid on it earlier in the season, who knows. Anyways, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Pretty good series so far. And, we got one more next week. And then Fear the Walking Dead comes back the week after that. So, we've still got 7 more weeks of Dead. After that, nothing until next year. But, that'll push us into December with Dead. And then I think sometime around February, we will have the Rick and Michonne show. So, yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed. I know these aren't the best in the world, but I like to at least give my thoughts about what I thought about what they've done. And I miss that they don't do Talking Dead anymore, because that really gave a little more insight. And I really wish they would do it again. But I guess can't even remember his name now. I guess he just did not want to do it anymore. Who knows? Anyways, we will see you all next week.